I'm here with Steve Waddell, the founder, president, and chief executive of Nasoni. When I've watched your videos and I've looked at the website, it's very exciting, the kind of things that you're doing in a what would seem to be an already stagnant market, but Nasoni has added some very interesting dynamics and effective dynamics to that market. So would you give us a little background on yourself and then give us background on Nasoni?
Sure, I'm happy to, Frank. It's a pleasure to be here and talk with you and meet you virtually, by the way. I've always had a passion for innovation, and it's a trait that I honed in my 25 years at Newport News Shipbuilding. I mean, I started out as an apprentice on the waterfront, spent 7 years with my hands on the waterfront as a foreman, and then 12 years in engineering and 6 in IT. And along the way, I did a lot of entrepreneurial things. So I've had that passion for entrepreneurship all my life. And there, at the yard, we built the best ships in the world, nuclear powered aircraft carriers and submarines.
Sure.
And, and then I spent 11 years helping grow my wife's business, Reed Integration, from nothing to a multi-million-dollar government consulting business. And in that, I also did a lot of entrepreneurial things. But along the way, I got tired of craning my neck under the faucet to rinse after I brush my teeth. It's funny because what happened was I was watching 2 little girls on a cobblestone street in Italy, and they went over to this, looked like a fire hydrant, and apparently water flows from the Apennine Mountains down through the Roman aqueducts and up through this little fire hydrant and a tube that hangs out down the side like a big nose, and water comes out the bottom. That's why they got the name Nasoni, right? And so the little girl, the dog was drinking from the water coming down. And then when the dog finished, she took her hand and plugged the bottom. Water popped out the top like a water fountain. And my immediate reaction was, that's brilliant. Why isn't it in the bathroom? Nasonis were invented in Italy back in the 1870s or somewhere in that time frame. So almost 150 years ago. But nobody ever put it in the bathroom. So it's kind of where it all came from. And I actually, on a day off, New Year's Day, went to Lowe's. I bought a fiberglass sink, a faucet, a shutoff valve, and I assembled it all in my driveway. I connected to the garden hose. I drilled a hole in the top of the faucet spout. And when I shut off that downward flow, water popped out the top like I had imagined it would. I made a video of that, and I took it to my stepfather. Now, my stepfather was 83 years old at the time, but he was big in my life, literally and figuratively, because I learned everything I know about work from him and my work ethic. And he worked in the plumbing department at Newport News Shipbuilding. He was a superintendent for that department. And I showed him the video, and he looks at it and he goes, "What the heck are you going to do with that?" And I said, "Well, after you brush your teeth, you either got to cup your hand, tilt your head, or use a cup, right?" And he looked at me and he goes, "No." I said, "No." I said, "What do you do?" He goes, "Oh, heck, I just take my teeth out and put them in a cup." I said, "You got me there. I never imagined that. So you're obviously not my customer."
Right.
So anyway, Nasoni is a culmination of all my experiences and my previous efforts, my ongoing passion for innovation. And our focus is on reimagining how people interact with water in their daily lives. And in the process, I really learned that, we're enhancing efficiency and conservation while not sacrificing the user experience, but actually enhancing it. You're getting water more functionally. You're not trying to save water, but you do. Because the true fact is we don't need 1.5 gallons a minute water sense or 1.2 gallons per minute for CEC certification faucets, or even the old faucets that are 2.2 gallons a minute. We don't need that much water coming out as a water fountain. We only use 0.26 gallons per minute. So if you had an old 2.2 gallon faucet and you compare it with the 0.26, when you brush your teeth, if you leave the water running when you brush, like 1/3 of Americans do, you save as much as 4 gallons by using the fountain mode per day, per time you brush. So if you brush twice a day, that's 8 gallons a day you could save. And you extrapolate that out, it's a massive amount of water savings if we had everybody using fountain faucets.
I went to your water calculator
Mhm.
and put in the numbers. We have 2 people live in the home. It's stunning. I mean, we deal in water all the time, so we know about what's being wasted and so forth. But when you put it in front of you put it in front of you and look at it and say, it's $200-300 a year at the low end, more than likely, right?
Yeah,
Because
so
even though there's 2 people in the house, last weekend we had all our kids and grandkids over, so we had another 10 people in the house for a couple of days doing the same thing.
exactly. So I mean, we show you what our assumptions are in that calculator at the bottom as notes. So we assume you're going to use the fountain mode 8 minutes a day, whether that's 4 minutes in brushing, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, and then a couple times either rinsing shaving cream or as my wife does. Now, my wife, what she would do is cup her hands and splash her face to rinse facial cleanser for makeup off every
Mhm.
night. And nowadays, what she does is she turns the hot and the cold on simultaneously, gets a warm, gentle fountain stream, and then just dips her face in it and gets a nice flow to rinse. And I see her do that every night.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, and then just even getting a drink of water. If you crane your neck, you're just wasting all that other water because you're not drinking 1.2 gallons in a minute.
Right, that's for sure. So what kind of you've been at, you said it was pre-COVID, so there's a lot of, probably start and restart like a lot of other companies, especially, an innovative company like yours that would seem to depend pretty highly on in face-to-face interaction at exhibitions and shows and conferences kind of thing. So in what kind of impact or testimonial have you uh, received from from your customers?
So we have a fantastic video from the kitchen and bath industry show last year that we participated in. Everybody that came by our booth wanted the faucet, and we couldn't sell because you can't sell at KBIS.
Right.
But we heard a lot of different things. Like a builder came by and said, "I want to have your faucets to put them in our houses because we would be the first to have this innovative faucet in our homes." Little kids came by; they loved it. It's trouble getting kids to want to brush, but when you make it fun with a fountain mode,
Hmm. Hmm.
they love it. And then I had one lady come up to me and told me something I had never thought of, even though my stepfather had vertigo for a little while, but I'd never heard of this. The lady came up and she goes, "Do you realize when you have positional vertigo and you turn your head any kind of way, you get the spins that don't go away?" She said, "With your faucet, all I do is bend and sip. No more vertigo." I mean, you never would realize those things unless you're experiencing that scenario yourself, right? You're living with it. So, she was a testimonial that we've got recorded. I think I may have sent you a link to that
Yes, she
video.
did. I saw the video, and she talked about vertigo and moving her head this way and this way, and she doesn't have to do it. She just goes like this.
The product is a very visual product. When you see it, I think you'll determine the value that it will have in your home.
My whole reason for doing it was because I got tired of craning my neck and I said there's got to be a better way. And then I just learned those over the years from customers and people that experience the faucet of how many uses are. Another feature that people have given me is they try to fill water bottles or tall cups and underneath in their faucet, and it won't fit because there's not enough clearance between the spout and the
Right,
sink.
right.
But put it in fountain mode, fill it up really easy. Yeah, exactly. That won't fit under it, but it fits in fountain mode.
Oh, yeah. So, what certainly you've talked about some of, certainly sounds like already here, but as CEO of the company, what real pleasant surprises have you had in running the company?
Well, in addition to all of the user feedback, right, and all the things we've learned from the customers,
Yeah.
one of my favorite things, at this stage in my life, I want to make a difference in the world. And I know I made some differences at Newport News Shipbuilding and my wife's company. I got notified. I mean, I got awards for things like that. But to me, that's not really making an impact on the world. So my
Mhm.
goal at this stage in life is to develop products that make a difference in people's lives while saving water to benefit the planet and being a good role model to our 2 sons and other entrepreneurs. So, I mean, we are totally innovating faucets in ways that have never been done before to really help. I guess the NIH came up with a new phrase, and it's called populations with health disparities.
Mm.
And we are attempting to revolutionize faucets to enable them to live more independently. And if not totally independent, but to reduce caregiver burden. So it makes it easier on those like my mother-in-law, taking care of my father-in-law. She still would have to help him with his hair, but it wouldn't be in the shower where she would fall,
Right.
So
Exactly. Sure.
that's an example of reducing caregiver burden.
So you're developing a relationship with Global Waterworks. There's a lot of organizations out there. What do you see at Global Waterworks that encourages you to develop a relationship with us?
Well, I think your commitment to innovation and sustainable water usage aligns perfectly with our goals. We believe in not just providing a product, but being able to part of a larger movement that changes how society values and uses water. You offer an incredible platform for achieving that, and we couldn't be more excited about the partnership. Kat Shire, I guess I pronounced her last name correctly.
Close,
I
yes.
met her at WaterVent, right through WaterVent, participating in that event. And we met a lot of incredible people at the event, and it was fun. I also won the best speaker award.
That's what I heard.
The track that I was in, but it's because I like to have fun, and so when I present, I like to have fun as well, and I think the audience really likes that.
It gets contagious. So here you are. What does the future look like for Nasoni? Where are you going?
The future for me would be we will have landed a scale partner that can take these incredible things we're doing and help us, first launch it nationally, making it a national solution, and then take it globally. Because we know, it's hard for a small company to make a global solution.
Yeah.
So we're looking for that scale partner that can really help us, magnify what we're doing, because what we're doing is making a big difference, has the potential to make a big difference in the lives of many and in our global water concerns, right? Because by the year 2030, we know scientists are telling us that global demand for fresh water will exceed supply by 40%.
Right.
Right. What is it? 97% of the Earth's water is salt water.
Yep, that's
and
true.
So the 3% that's left, 2% is trapped in glaciers and ice.
That's
so
right.
That leaves 1%. So we got to do something.
Yeah, we got to manage it well.
For our kids, right? It's for our kids and the kids' kids.
Well, Steve, this has been Mary told me about your talk and your how vibrant you are, and certainly looking at your technology, it really is game changing. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and look forward to working with you in the future to hopefully maybe get you to a global partner or a partner that can work with you, and also to get certainly our community and those around our community to get a look at your technology. Steve, once again, thank you so much for spending time. Look forward to talking in the future.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it, Frank. Have a great week.
You too.